And welcome to another edition of Earache's Garage. Well, Project Earache Stein, it will live. Well, okay. So, did not get an cylinder exhaust stud today because I said Google, right? Or Google, Chippewa Falls Harley Davidson. And I don't know what it put up there, but it wound up dialing fucking Milwaukee Harley Davidson. And of course, they've got the stud. But Chippewa and Rice Lake are closed on Mondays. Hey, Rick. So, basically done, except I went to put the exhaust on this morning, and when they took the exhaust off this motor, the inboard front stud unscrewed from the head, and I missed that. And that's not kind of hard. You got to really, to see in that. So I called up Harley. I said, Google, Chippewa Falls, Harley Davidson. And it said, and you could just click the call instead. And I didn't look at anything. And it called Milwaukee Harley Davidson. And they've got one. So I thought I was talking to Chippewa, who is closed on Mondays. I raced on the bike because I saw that big strip of storms out west. I did an 85.9. I made Chippewa Falls in just around 27 minutes. And I pull in. It's like, wow, we're kind of dead today. And then I look, there's no lights out. I'm like, oh, man. So I got everything. It's all done except exhaust. And I need 2 O-rings for the backing plate for the air cleaner. But here, let's go inside here. I had to do a little something silly with the fuel because of this big horn thing. Go back out before I lose the connection there. And I'll go in on the other side. So basically, let me grab where did I put that sheet? Okay. And then the instructions for this ignition gave me a heart attack. I ordered it for a carved bike, so there's no TSM on for what I ordered it for. And going through the instructions, reading through it all, and I get to right near the end. And where did it say that? Oh gosh, there's it. Oh, here you go. If you are not using a bank angle sensor or a TSSM module, you must ground wire going to pin 10 on the black connector. The engine will not run or start unless you ground this wire. Oh! I got it all neatened up. I got it all wire tied in. Well, there is no 9 and 10 on this module because I ordered for car bike without all that stuff. I did not order for a stock replacement. So, and here's the cool thing for mounting that. I had 2 threaded holes there with lugs already because that bike came carved and only had that kind of module on it. So those 2 holes are there. That's the same. That module is meant to replace a carbureted bike's module. So it bolts it real nice. I didn't have to drill no holes, no fuss, no muss. I actually used 2 of the Allen bolts from the old crusty lifter covers. So, but so here's what we got. We got a little bit better than normal. I've got the multi-spark, and it's like MSD. A continuous series of spark is fired from the advanced timing point until the top dead center, because it fires at advanced, so it'll continue to spark on those last few degrees crank rotation until you hit top dead center. And then of course I did normal. I did for stock engines running pump gas 87, 89. So if you're ever stuck getting 87 octane, it's not going to be a problem. And that's just for a stock motor and a regular stock advanced slope. And I actually set it to 5,200 for rev limit. Harley gives it a 55. So I kept on 300 under Harley's red line. So bada bing, bada boom. Oh, and this weather is giving me a headache. Oh. So basically she's done. I just got to put the exhaust on her tomorrow. Put the backing plate for the air filter on her. His original, the cover, air cleaner cover that he had is going right back on. And the exhaust, that's it. Exhaust and give her a run in. Got a tweak on the air fuel mixture. I'm pretty sure I got the jetting right. Worst case scenario, he's got a little flat spot if he tries to whack it off the line, you know, like a Sporty with drag pipes. Worst case scenario. And there's not much to do with that except, you know, find a baffle for that and take all the wrap off it, maybe trim it down. Got to give it a little back pressure. They make better power off the line with a little back pressure. Anyways, it had a 95, 90, what is it? What do I have? 190 or 190 and a 45. It's now a 48 and 195, which is I used to step them all up to anyways when I was putting on stage 1 stuff, which is air filter exhaust. So I got to get up early in the morning, be on the road before. Well, I don't know if I'm going to run down there. I would think they'd have an exhaust stud in stock, but I better call first. After my experience today, I better call first and make sure it's Chippo I'm talking to. And if they don't have it, Rice Lake will have it. Because those guys fuck shit up there. So I know they're going to stock a couple of exhaust studs up there. And I know they mess stuff up there. I worked there for a while back in 2011. And it was just, what I saw going on was scary. What I saw going on there, they would have fired them all. I worked for Illinois Harley Original before they moved the location and got all yuppified and sold, and the original owners sold it off. So I did all my training. I'm certified through 05, 06 on everything, which is basically everything I've been doing here. And what I saw go down at Rice Lake Harley, I wouldn't trust them with my lawnmower. I mean, the president back in 2011, whoever was the president of the hog chapter up there, had the axle nut left off his bike. Kid you not. No joke. The pinch cap, thank goodness, was tight, but no axle nut on the outside of the axle. And he was mad. He actually posted that stuff, sent it in an email or a text message or something to the big gal that was running the place. She got fired for thievery and a bunch of other people. So, I mean, that's just an example. Not using the proper tool to remove the lower race from a triple tree. I caught the guy across from me taping up a $1,200 chrome triple tree and taking a die grinder to cut the lower race on a triple tree off. There's actually a tool for that. I mean, hold on. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, wrong door. Oh, I hate when that happens. Where did I get that? Oh, come on now. Where did I hide it? I hid it on myself. I hid my tool. Well, suffice it to say, hold on. Got it in the garage too long. There's a tool for that. There's a tool for everything. You know, and if you're taking a die grinder to remove a bearing race, you should be thrown out of the shop. You actually should have your tools taken away. That's my thing right there. There's a tool for every job. You know, in every job there's a tool. And we're not talking about the one working on it. So I think that's it, man. This weather's really getting me too. And I think maybe it was that run I made this morning too, kind of tired me out. Because I raced back trying to beat the storm and that never showed. Oh, I hate when that happens. So 90 or 85-90 down there, 85-90 back. So, and that's 2 days in a row, and my shoulders are all tight, and I was gripping that throttle so hard my hand was starting to hurt towards the end. Because I got to be able to drop it down and downshift at the same time if I see, you know, Grandma used to call it Speedy Gonzalez. That would be the speed trap guy. Watch out for Speedy Gonzalez, she'd say. So, one more time here. No, still looks the same. Nothing's really changed. You really can't tell except for, well, you know, if you can see from the side of the rocker box that it's not an Evo in there anymore. You really can't tell. Around one more time. I hope I don't lose you. But this is the only way you're going to tell. And the exhaust is going to be right here. So, and air cleaner. So that's it. Bada bing, bada boom. Before my doc appointment tomorrow, and I'm doing something I've never done. I called for one of those ride services because my insurance provides a ride, and I think the gasoline traveling to Rice Lake and back at my Tahoe would cost me more than my appointment tomorrow. So I've never done it. They're going to pick me up around 1:20 or something like that for and I got to be there by 2:40. They want me there 20 minutes early to fill out paperwork, which usually means I show up 10 minutes early, spend 5 minutes doing the paperwork, and sit around waiting for 5 minutes. But it's the return trip that I'm going to be, I'm concerned in how to perform the function. I got to do something on my phone to request the return trip tomorrow, and I'm not so hot with phones. As we can tell by my running the Rice Lake Harley on their closed day off for an exhaust stud, I'm not too good with cell phones. So I'll get the exhaust stud from one of the two dealers tomorrow morning before my appointment. They open at 9. That's more than enough time, even if I got to do it Rice Lake. When I worked there, I did the mileage from parking spot here to parking spot there. It is exactly 50.00 miles. So exactly 100 mile round trip, and I can knock that out in a heartbeat. And that's all fun roads. I'm not really worried about police back there too much. Take D in the backside of Chautauqua, zigzag it from here. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Except for the corners. I got to drop to 70, 71 around corners because I don't have a frame tie yet for stability. I got the Harley calls it tank slap. The rest of us call it the death wobble, and it's the death wobble. So, and that just ties with the same kind of engine struts that you got on the Evo and your top strut. They actually do one from on touring. They do an L bracket off the backside of the pan, and they change one motor mount to give the tabs to screw one of those struts to. And if you do, and then you really don't need one on the front if you do one on the back. They do make a front one, and it's pretty easy to do. The one in the rear is really easy. You just take the 6 bolts or 8 bolts out from the corner of the pan and put in the bracket on. And the hardest part is the motor mount. And, you know, you just got to be good with a jack. Just balance that puppy right, and it doesn't move, and just pops. It slides right out, and you slide the other one back in. If you jack it up too high, you're right up, and it drops down, and now you're going to fight with it for an hour to get it back in. But if you just move the jack just right, she'll just bloop, slide right out. But on the Dyna, they incorporate that into the motor mount itself because there's no room underneath there, and I don't have I don't have a motor mount like that. So that's $450 that I have not spent because I don't need to be doing 85, 90 through a corner. It's a good thing I got to slow down to 70 through a corner. Every year since I passed 40, my reaction times have been growing each year. I'm not going to say by how much, but I know it has. So, you know, I don't need a 90 mile an hour turn. Too old. Slowing down. I ride with no hands to get my adrenaline. That's it, man. I think that's it. I'm just being an earache to you here. We're gonna have to meet face to face, and so you can talk back. It says to bring them on camera, but I'm not sure how to do all that, and so I'll wait until I got somebody right next to me. I can practice doing that thing with the camera. So let's do one more walk around. Yee-haw. I'm a happy camper. There it is. 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 Nothing untoward looking. The only thing I had to do was kind of goopy that because I had to do that. I had to do an angle. I couldn't go fucking horsefly. Pardon my language. Ow, he got me. I got to get back out here. I had to do that with the fuel line and run it kind of an unusual direction because of that horn and choke bracket. It's just really in the way. So I had to run that out there, and then I put a 5/16 line. I put a skin of 3/8 over it where it's sitting on the horn there, and that'll be fine. It'll take you 30 years to rub through that 3/8. So that's it. Tomorrow, just all depends on what they want me, what they're going to be doing to me at this appointment. I've never been to pain management. Pain management for me when I was younger was, and I don't do that anymore. So I do a drink once in a great while, but I don't like to. It's always making, 3 beers and I'm feeling sick tomorrow. I'm a cheat date all over again. So anyways, you've been earache at Earache's Garage. Ooh, here, let's see, it says wave. Wave. All right, God bless, ride fast, stay ahead of the idiots and the deer. You've been earache at Earache's Garage.